Welcome to my house. Buck here with another Hunter Classic video. The crew and I were hanging out at the gun shop the other night, talking about the upcoming hunt. So, by the way, the gun shop, we're hoping to get that live streamed on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. So, you guys want to check that out Tuesday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got a couple of top-notch hunters that I hunt with. They're up there pretty high. I'll introduce you to them on Tuesday. And we sit around and we hunt together, and we're bullheaded, all of us, and we all think we're damn good. So this ought to make for a damn good show. That's all I can say. It ought to make for a damn good show because we have our opinions, and these guys have hunted a long time on this map. They've got a good reputation. I'm the newbie. I'm the new guy. But see, I'm the old man. I've been hunting a lot longer than all of them in real life, but they're damn good. That's all I can say. So that'll be on Tuesday nights. We were sitting around talking about the videos that we wanted to do and such, and we're going to do a bear hunting video. And I thought this was a good time because there's a lot involved in a bear hunt. You can go out solo by yourself after them, of course, but if you want to bait them up and get yourself some big trophies in there, there's a tactic and a way to do that. And the game allows you to do that. So, what do you got over there, Buck? Why don't you have your stuff on? It doesn't look good, now does it? There we go. We're going to talk about the feeders in the game. Now, we've got feeders in the game that will allow us to target certain species. And I'm going to try to, in the quickest amount of time possible, give you what I know that I've absorbed over the last however long I've been playing this game and hunting with these guys. These guys are a lot of knowledge. They got me up quick and smart, fast. So I want to relay that information to you guys because it's kind of important. This is the kind of stuff that you want to pay attention to if you're baiting. All right. So our baiting in this game, we've got 4 animals that you can bait. You can bait the feral goats, then get them out on bush wranglers. You can bait hogs, so they're out there, loggers, settler, ragaroo, bush wranglers, pick-a-bin. Brown bear you can bait, so you got Hammerl and Thou the Boys over there, and of course the black bear. So you got Settlers Creek, everywhere the black bear is, Red Feather Falls, and Ragu Bayou. So these are the animals that we can bait up. We can hunt for these with the bait. Now your feeders have, do I have that up there yet, Buck? Nope. There it is. There's what we want. Feeders have a status, right? Your status can either be active, inactive, or in penalty. We'll talk about penalty a little bit later. But these are the 3 different statuses your feeders can have once they're deployed out in the field. So, active, feeder can attract animals, of course. Inactive, it cannot attract any animals. And penalty, 30-minute real-life penalty is invoked. We'll talk about that penalty and how it happens. Now, these feeders are consumables, guys. It's you got 50 unit max, okay? So 50 units can go in your feeders. This thing consumes, it doesn't matter how many bears or goats are eating at it. I mean, basically it's a mathematical equation. It goes down 10 units a day, 10 units every 24 hours, right? And an empty feeder then becomes inactive, and of course it can't attract any animals, right? So what we want to talk about next is do a little bit of math on how this feeder actually, so you can plan your hunt, right? Here's what we're going to talk about. The feeder has a max of 50 units a day that you can put into it, right? It depletes whether you're there or not, whether you're playing a game, it's real life, right? And you have a 4-hour warm-up. Once you fill that thing or put whatever you put in it, whether you fill it to the top or however much you put in it, it's got 4 hours till you can use it. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of the numbers, all right? So if it takes 24 hours to get rid of 10 units. You're basically talking 0.4166666667, whatever, per hour. All right, so I round that up so we're safe, so we're always on the positive side. So we're going to use the number 0.420. All right, so 0.42 units per hour is what gets used up by these feeders. Now, you need 4 hours for this thing to warm up. So you got to have enough feed in there to last 4 hours. So that comes to 1.68 something. We're going to round up again for all these numbers and make that 1.7 units it takes for your warm-up period. So, and that warm-up period comes in a lot of different ways, and I'll explain that in just a few minutes. So we're looking at 1.7 units you got to have in that barrel to get through the warm-up, the 4-hour period. Now, for each hour that you want to hunt, so let's say you want to only hunt for an hour. You're going to have your buddies around and hunt for an hour. So you need another 0.420 on top of the 1.7. So you need, what is it? I got the numbers here. You need 2.16, right? If you want to hunt 2 hours, 1.7 plus the 8.832, you end up with 2.54 units you need to do a 2-hour hunt. A 3-hour hunt, you need 2.96, so you're almost at 3 units. A 4-hour hunt, you'd need 3.4 units total in that barrel in order to do the warm-up and hunt for 4 hours. So you got at least that. So safely, if you're going to do a 4-hour hunt, you need at least, you can't split them up. It's either 10 units or 1 unit when you fill these feeders up. So go, do it accordingly there. So figure it out. That's how it's going to work, and any option. Now, to eliminate that 4-hour warm-up, don't let your feeder run empty. That's all you got to do there, and you don't have to worry about it. That's hard to do, though. That means you're constantly putting feed in that, and it costs money for that. However, it doesn't take much to keep it alive once it's there. As long as there's a unit in there, and like I said, what does it use every hour? So 10 units a day. So that's what you would have to keep that feeder alive. Uh-oh, got a screensaver going off. Okay, so that's the numbers I kind of wanted to run down to you there on. So when you're planning a hunt, what you want to do, those are your numbers you want to go off of. Now let's talk a little bit about penalty status. What causes a penalty status? Well, what happens is you get, when it happens, you get a 30-minute IRL penalty on that baiter, on that feeder, where it does not produce. Okay, it goes down to 0 meters. 0 meters. Now, let's talk about the meters a little bit. Well, we'll talk about them a little bit. Maximum traction radius on these feeders, 150 meters for the goats, all right? 250 meters for hogs and bears. So that's your radius when you fill this thing up, what it'll attract. So you lose that. It goes down to 0, and it slowly works its way back up to maximum range, okay? Now, when a penalty is caused, in multiplayer, the only one who can cause a penalty is the host. So if the host shoots a target feeder animal, so if you're out doing a bear hunt and the host shoots a bear, that penalty gets banged. Okay, now you're in. Now the barrel's dead for 30 minutes. However, if any one of the players, the guest players, can shoot whatever they want, as many as they want, and that penalty does not get invoked. It's only if the host shoots a baited animal. So if you're the host and you're doing a bear hunt, don't shoot the damn bear, shoot a moose. Okay, shoot something else. That's what you want to do, because all your buddies then can shoot all these bears up. You can't shoot though. That's just the way it works as the penalty. All right, so let's talk a little more about that. Only baited animals can cause the penalty. Okay. Now, here's something that a lot of guys don't know, and I had to dig for this, but if an animal's walking up to the feeder, it's attracted. When they walk around, don't shoot anything walking around. Now, if you're hunting by yourself, okay, this is something smart to know. Don't hit that bear when he's at the feeder, when he's walking around the feeder. Wait for him to walk away from the feeder. If he walks away from the feeder, the penalty won't get invoked if you shoot him then, because he's unattracted to the feed at that point. Now, determining when or how far away from the feeder, because a lot of them will walk towards you into the stand and they'll walk back towards the feeder. So you kind of got to play that one, with a little bit of windage and elevation. As to, as long as they're walking away, nail them, and the penalty shouldn't get invoked. Right? So that's the penalty deal. Locations. Like I said before, there's certain maps you can put them down on. The game will not let you it won't let you put one of these feeders down if that particular species does not inhabit that area. The game won't let you do it. It's illegal to do it. So, and it's illegal to buy the bait and dump it or try to put it down without the feeders. You can't do that either. Okay, so don't bother. Location. Containers are. Oh, here's a good one. Now, bait containers, you can move them when they're active and you're hunting. You can move that feeder somewhere else during that hunt. Not a problem, okay? However, you're going to spook everything when you tear it down, spook everything when you put it back up. But the feeder will remain active and it will retain its feed and it will begin to attract animals after the spook is gone. So you can move it in the same session. Now, once you leave the game, then the 4-hour warm-up kicks in because you move that feeder. Anytime you move a feeder, normally you would move. Most guys, it's like, well, that you get a lot of luck over on that feeder, so I'm going to move it. And it's normally empty, and you just go run out there and you pick it up and you go move it. And you're not even putting bait in it because when you put bait in it, it's a 4-hour warm-up. But as long as you move it in the same hunt somewhere on that map, it'll stay active, it'll retain its feed, and it won't go inactive until you leave the hunt, until you leave the hunt session. So that's something to keep in mind there. All right, what else are we going to talk about here now? I got everything else. Retains the bait. Yeah. You can, like they said, you can move that guy by doing your interaction key, which is your E key on the keyboard. So you can, if you want to pick it up and move it. But you should have done your homework in the beginning when you put that barrel down. You shouldn't be moving it in the middle of a hunt, in my opinion. I don't know, just saying. All right, let's talk. Finally, we're going to wrap this thing up here. Let's talk a little bit about the facts. Number one, 150 feet, 150 meters, attraction range for goats, 250 meters for the hogs and the bear. Feeder must be greater than 400 meters or more away from any lodges, campsites, or tents. It's got to be 500 meters or more away from another feeder. These are facts. Food depletion is a constant 10 units a day, 4 feeders per reserve. Animals spawn more around the feeders, one would think, naturally. Moving a feeder invokes the 4-hour warm-up. Okay? Like I said before, you can move a feeder, the animals will come, attraction ends after you leave the game if you do it inside of a hunting session, right? Once you leave the session, the 4-hour warm-up is invoked. Now, let's talk about management. Well, you can manage your feeders, and you don't have to run out to everywhere and dump. You don't have to hoist food out to these feeders all the time. You can if you want. That's not a bad idea, but there are ways around it. Okay, let's go over there and take a look, and you can do that via your settings and game management. So if you pull over on your settings menu, just drop down. Get over there, Buck. Pull it over. Drop down game management. Pull up game management. Now here, game management. You can also manage your trophy lodges. You don't have to get in the game, go to a trophy lodge and walk up to it and hit the E key. You can do it all from here. You can hit your trophy lodges, and what you have, you can just go in, click on them, and there they are. And you can manage them, okay? Now, bait sites. Bait sites, you're gonna load them up. I only have one right now, that's all right? But this is what's nice. You can tell it how much feed you want to put in that feeder, all right? Right away, it gives you a status here, the bait. I have 14 units out of 50 left in my barrel. The feeder will be empty. It tells you exactly when. Empty on March 31st at that time at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when I filled that thing. Boy, you were up late, Buck. That's when I filled it, and it's exactly 5 days. You put 50 units in it, it's 5 days, exactly from the time you put in. And it gives me a status of active, and I can refill it at any time. Now, where is my feeder? Well, if you hover over the coordinates over here, it says Red Feather Falls. It pulls up a little map that tells you right where your feeder is located. I don't know why it doesn't show a barrel. It should show a barrel. Maybe there's something wrong with it. Oh, maybe that's what it says when it's active and it's got feed in it. All right, so there, you can manage all this from here, and I can refill it. However, what it requires to refill it, you have 150 bait left in your inventory. You have 0 feeder refills left. You have to buy a service, okay, for this. You got to go to the store. You got to come down to services. Down here at the bottom, you'll find your feeder baits. What's nice about this is you don't have to pay real money for them, because you can pay your in-game money for them to get these refill packs. And once you have them, have the refill packs, then the game management works just fine. So then you would just tell it how many units I want to put in that thing, and you'll have your whole list of every feeder you have out on every place, and it'll show you where they're at, give you the full status on it, and you can manage all that right from here. Management, well, guys, that's it. I hope that helped. If it did help, remember, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to the channel. Don't forget about the little bell. Don't forget about 7 o'clock. Tuesday nights, we're going to do the gun shop. It's going to be fun, I think. There could be some pretty good conversations go on there on Tuesday nights. I don't know. Everybody's got an opinion. I love hunting with these guys. They're a bunch of great guys. So we'll see how it goes when we actually start recording what they say. I don't know. I might have to get my bleep button. But it'll be a lot of fun. So that'll be 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. We'll run that 7 to 7:30 like we do the bait shop for fishing. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to stream a hunt. So all of us guys are going to be sitting in there at 7 o'clock talking about what we're going to do, what ammo, what guns we're taking, what's best for what, the best ways to hunt it. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to go out and do it. So please join us. Remember, never, ever give up the fight. We'll see you later. Uh-oh, I forgot to change. That's only a fishing background. I gotta get some hunting stuff for the back of my videos. All right. We'll see you later.